Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire in bonnie Scotland. I'm back out, I'm on my own, and I'm back with the XP DEUS II. So I'm returned to this set aside field, which is pretty much the only local field that I've got available. And it came to my mind that one thing I haven't looked at is what does gold sound like with the XP DEUS II. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that last year, after 21 years of metal detecting, I found my first gold coin, which was a half sovereign of George V, actually off of the very field that I'm on. And then at Detectival last year, I got my first ever gold hammered coin, a quarter gold noble of Richard II. So I brought them both out, and I'm going to do a little test and see how gold sounds with the XP DEUS II. So stay tuned. I'm going to start off with this one, which is the first gold coin that I ever found. It is a half sovereign of King George V, and it dates to 1914, the start of the First World War. So I'll put that in its little bag, and I'll bury it at a depth and see what it sounds like. And this will be the other gold coin, the first ever gold hammered coin that I ever found. Took me 21 years to find, and it's a quarter gold noble, identified as Richard II, which puts it between 1377 and 1399, and look at it glistening in the sun. So I'll put these coins into their own separate little bags, and I'll bury them, I don't know, I'll start with maybe 6 inches down and then see how they sound. Worth me getting my ear in, because I'm sure there's going to be more gold to be had. There we are, all set so that they don't get damaged. I'll do this delicately and hopefully I don't lose them. That would be ironic, but let's get them in the ground. We'll go for 6 inches to begin with. Okay, so we'll go with the half gold sovereign to begin with of George V, 1914. 6 inches deep and a solid 71. You're not going to miss that. And over here at 6 inches, measured with the Garrett pinpoint probe, we have got a quarter gold noble of Richard II from 1377 to 1399. Little bit lower, 67, 68, but you ain't going to miss them, are you? And this is on the Deep HC program number 6, without any adjustments. So let's try a different program. This is George V half sovereign on program number 1, general. Solid 72 at 6 inches, and now with the quarter gold noble. 69, solid signal at 6 inches down. Okay, we've now gone to 9 inches, 8.5 to 9 inches. We've got George V, half sovereign, still coming in 71, 72, with a deep HC, high conductivity or high conductor, and the quarter gold noble, 8.5 to 9 inches, coming in at 67, 67, 68, 69. Excellent, so that's what gold sounds like with the DEUS II. I'd have been a bit worried if it didn't pick the signal up, so now I know what to listen for. That's them now both safely recovered, and the only annoying thing is I was going to try and notch out these berry tunnel clips that I keep turning up in this field. which tend to come in at about 69 to 71, and annoyingly that's what these 2 gold coins have come up as, so well worth me checking. Otherwise it might be another 20 years before I find another gold coin. But look at them shining, especially that hammered coin. Look at the colour of that in the sun. That is incredible. Incredible. A long time for me to find them, and boy was I excited when I found them. Right, let's go and find some new treasure. Just like yesterday, I'm literally straight in with a find straight away. Coming in 94, 95. Right there. Coin would be nice, but I think it might be aluminum or aluminium. It wasn't deep, and I can see it straight away on the bottom of the clod. It looks like maybe some sort of ring thing. There is some sort of ring thing. What is it, like a couple of eyelets maybe? Yep, it's like a, I don't know, what is that? It's, I don't know, maybe off like a horse harness or even a dog lead or something maybe. But it's a couple of swivelly, circly type things. But no coin. Hey ho. On to the next. This one came through 65, 71. I thought maybe I'm onto a gold coin, but damn. So a moo tube comes in at the same as a gold quarter noble. That might be a problem. Oh well. Okay, we have got fairly solid 70, 71. Could it be a wee coin? Only one way to find out. We were just in the bottom of the clod and it's just fallen out, because here it is here. And that is it. And we've got a bullet. We are on an old World War II, World War I, late Victorian era shooting range or firing range that was in use from in the 1870s, 1880s all the way through until about the 1950s, possibly as late as 1960. And this is a 303, I believe, bullet. So this was standard British issue from the 1880s, the sort of Boer War campaigns and the Zulu Wars in South Africa, all the way through until just after the Second World War, when it was replaced, I think in the 1950s or 1960s, but they do still make 303s today. So they're used by, amongst others, people who go shooting for the likes of deer. But it's a find. The bullet was right there, and right here we have $95, $96. Don't think it's going to be another bullet because it's a different readout, but you never know. It was very shallow and it's in the bottom of the clod. Do you see it right here? And I think we've got, hopefully not a whole one, a piece of a hand grenade. And we do. This is the bottom of a Mills hand grenade. It's got a thread around the edge, and it would have had numbers and letters that would tell you what kind of grenade it was, whether it was fragment or, I don't know, incendiary possibly, I'm not sure, maybe even smoke grenade. So I'll give it a wee rub-a-dub and see if we can see any letters. Well, it looks like it's too far gone, but it is definitely the bottom of a Mills hand grenade. So that's probably going to date to the Second World War sort of era, when this was used for training soldiers and also the Home Guard in the 1930s into the 1940s. So far we've found dozens of these. Thankfully we haven't had any whole ones yet, and I hope that we never do. But it's a find, a little piece of military history. Have we got a gold coin? 65, 66, occasionally a 67. That's quarter gold noble territory. Or Mootube. Only one way to find out. Trust me to get the deepest signal in the stoniest of ground in this whole field. That's me. I'm down exactly 8 inches and it's still down there. Well, in fact, is that it? No, that's a stone. So I think we're entering possible tin can territory, but last time I said that, I think I found a Bronze Age axe head that was 4,500 years old. So fingers crossed. We might have silver. Maybe. Just that last spadeful that I banged into the ground. Look at that, is that bit of a spoon? See it there, sticking out the side? Well, you would do if I get my arm out of the way. I think it is. Could that be a silver spoon? Or a silver spoon handle? It's well buried in there. I'm going to have to open up the hole to the side. But that's bang on 9 inches. And it's coming through 68, 69. So let's clean it back and see. Certainly looks shiny. My God, this is hard going. We have got some letters. Now, is it going to say stainless steel or is it going to be solid silver? I think it's going to be stainless steel, but it's still well buried. It looks like it's bent, maybe bent double. So it's not wanting to come out yet. More digging required. At last, I've got it. And I was right, it was bent double. But look at that, it's a whopper. Yesterday we got a teaspoon, and today we've got an absolute whopper of a spoon. Now, is it silver? Would be nice if it was. It's certainly nice and shiny, but I think it's going to be stainless steel because I don't see any obvious hallmarks. It is. Moment of truth. What does that say? Sheffield, England. I can't read the rest. Here we go. Sheffield, England, Starbright, and then something written above it. So it is stainless steel. Let me give it a wee rub-a-dub and see if we can get any more detail. Well, it is not silver, and it's lived up to its name. It says Sheffield, England, and it says at the bottom, stay bright. I don't know what it says at the top. It's got a little bit of wear on it and I can't make it out, but my God, stay bright, it certainly has. And this has probably been in the ground for 50 years or more, and it's certainly stayed bright. So well done to the spoon makers of Sheffield, because that has stayed as bright as the day it was made. Oh well, no silver. Our made in Sheffield spoon was right there, and right here we've got a solid 86. Sounds like a coin, but it could be a matching fork. We'll soon find out. I am delighted to say that with this ground being so stony, it is just under the surface. It's right there, and we've either got a button or a coin. And I think it's going to be a coin because it looks too big to be a button. And that is a coin. Has to be a coin. It's George V. It is George V. I can see his head looking to the left hand side. Right, let's give it a wee rub-a-dub and see if we can get a date. Always nice to get a coin. 1 penny. It's got a bit of pitting on it. 1920, and Georgios V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. So George ruled from about 1910 to, was it 1936, I think it was? And he should never have been king. His brother, his older brother, Albert Victor, was the one who was in line to the throne, but he died during an influenza epidemic. And George V went on to marry his older brother's girlfriend or fiancée, Mary of Teck, keeping it in the family. And then he went to war with his cousin, Kaiser Wilhelm, during the First World War. So 1920, a couple of years after the end of the Great War, as it was known, because there had only been one. So there wasn't a World War I back then, it was called the Great War. Well, George went on to be killed by his own doctor. His own physician decided to euthanise him. He was on his way out anyway, and he just wanted to make sure that the death was announced in the morning papers, so he helped him on his way. But it's a coin, always happy to get the first. Not sure about this one. It's got a bit of an irony tone to it, but I don't know if it's iron nearby or if it's something that's possibly made of iron. But yeah, see how it's jumping all over the place. 55, 09, 63, 40, and it's jumping between ferrous and non-ferrous. I don't know if there's two items there side by side, or maybe it's just one big dodgy bit of iron, but I'm going to dig it up anyway. It is indeed a 2-for-1. It's two signals. Oops, I just turned the pinpointer off. Here is number one. Right here, it's another one of these annoying little clips, which are from the old berry farm that's been here at some point. But over here is another signal, and it's a button. Looks like a military button. I think it might be a little military button. So let's have a wee look and see what we've got. Yeah, it's going to need a good rub-a-dub, but it's got that look that it's a military button, maybe like a general service or maybe a regimental button. If we're lucky, we'll get some detail off it. I might have overdone it a little bit on the rub-a-dub on the jumper, but you can just make out a crown at the top. To the left hand side is the lion, which is the national animal of England, and to the right hand side is a unicorn, the national animal of Scotland. So don't let anyone ever tell you that unicorns are not real, because they're Scotland's national animal. There was actually a vote about 10 years ago just to see if anyone wanted to change their mind, and overwhelmingly the unicorn was voted in again. So it is a real animal. Don't listen to what anyone tells you, because everyone in Scotland clearly believes in unicorns. But I think it's a general service button, and I think it dates to World War II, so it's going to be from 1939 to 1945 kind of era, and probably worn by one of the people who either fired that bullet or threw that hand grenade. Still, it's a find. Oh well, typical, just my luck. I just got a really good signal. This is where I dug up that last target, which was the penny alongside the what was it, a penny and a clip off of a berry tunnel. And somewhere over here I got a really good signal coming in somewhere in the 60s, and I thought, oh, that sounds pretty good. And as I walked back to get my spade, which I'd left here, I got another signal in the 80s over here, and then I went to try and find both of them and I couldn't. So I turned the machine off, turned the machine on again, and put my spade down on the ground and my big stainless steel spoon, and tried different programs, and then I've realised that the charge has ran out on the coil. So the computer part's still working, but the coil is not. Damn. So that's my fault. I haven't charged it for a while, but so I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut it a little bit short. I should have been out for at least another hour. I've left a couple of, I've dug a few random holes so that I can find these targets, and I'll need to try and come back out another day. So fingers crossed I might manage to get back out tomorrow if my wife lets me. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. So if you don't already, give me a subscription, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you on the next dig.